I want, a lot of thought about Julio, either very optimistic or very pessimistic, which is like, oh, no, he's like falling off a cliff. He's 30 blank years old. He played 400 snaps last year, all this stuff. In your mind, Julio Jones is a top what wide receiver still in the NFL? 5?
Still top 5, yeah. I mean, because we're still talking about a guy who, if healthy, he's like when you talk about wide receivers, if you talk to players at least, they'll say, okay, it's Julio Jones. And then, you start talking about the other guys. Not the same as like Aaron Donald and the rest of the other guys. Like, it's not that wide a gap, but a healthy Julio is just different. He's when you see him get off the bus, he's already intimidating as a player. He's going to win that battle. Then when he steps on the field and he's coming out of his breaks, just like a guy who's 5'11", $190 coming out of breaks, and he's 6'4", 230. Like, it's just different. His catch radius, just all these different things that make him who he is. So if he's healthy, he's still a top 5 receiver in my opinion. And like I said, AJ Brown, he's no slouch. So it's not like if I'm a D coordinator, I'm like, okay, AJ Brown can go for 70 the same way that Julio can. So it's like it's tough. On third down, who you double, and then once again, you still got 22 in the backfield who can hit you for 70. That offense is they got a lot of freak shows over there on the offensive side of the ball. So it's really going to be like for them feeding a hot hand, keeping defenses off balance, and staying ahead of the sticks. If they can stay ahead of the sticks to where they can't tip their hand if it's going to be a run or a pass, they're going to be a tough team, to get off the field. But, the defense is going to have to stop somebody.
You bring up such a great point about Henry, where I think like the normal running back progression would have been for Henry to struggle this year because, you're talking about so many touches and you're talking about such a big guy. And I think in a weird way, having this wide receiver duo is going to cause fewer men in the box, and it's going to give Henry maybe at least another year of being statistically the best running back in football. Sort of bringing this back. So Brown, Jones, a terrific pass catching duo. What are your top 4 or 5 in the NFL pass catching duos?
Man, before I even get to that, you just made me think of something with these receivers on the field. They're going to almost force a defense to put smaller bodies on the field. So just the different body types that's going to be hitting Henry all year is going to be different. I was just thinking about that. But if I'm thinking duos, obviously AJ and Julio.
And you can include a tight end in the duo. I think that's important.
Okay, so you want Ridley and Pitts in there. I can't put Pitts in there yet. I haven't seen him catch a pass in the league yet. I won't put him in Atlanta yet, but I'll go – sorry about that. Odell, if he's healthy, he's another guy who I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten about. But if he's healthy and motivated, and obviously we know who Jarvis is, so that they got to be in my top 5.
Hill,
Jefferson and Thielen. Mm-hmm. They got Hill and Kelsey for damn sure. Let me think. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Got Evans and either Godwin or AB. And I'm curious, who would you put, which is the better duo? Godwin's he's been so consistent. Antonio Brown, though, when he's right, is still as hard a person to cover as there is.
He is. Just, I would say right now we give the edge to Evans and Godwin just because they've, played more snaps together. And I feel like Godwin got a little inconsistent down the stretch in the playoffs. And, AB made the biggest plays in the Super Bowl.
True.
So I know that's not going anywhere. In Brady's mind, he may be more of a little go-to player in certain significant situations. But right now, I still give the edge to Evans and Godwin. I feel like I'm missing somebody. But how many was that? I had to be 4 or 5.
Here's one I'll bring up that I think is underrated out of the NFC West. I think Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods is a combo that I don't think anybody has ever putting in this conversation, but are probably one. I don't know if they're top 5, but
you know what?
Honorable mention.
I wouldn't be surprised if DJ with Stafford, if he can go out there and because that completely changes things. Because even as DB, I think about Woods and Kupp, but I don't see either one of them as really a home run hitter. Yeah. Both guys who, you can give Woods the speed sweep. Kupp is going to win around the sticks. But when you have that that X factor with Deshaun coming in with a guy like Stafford who can still stretch the field. That could be a scary trio. And then Dallas. Dallas. I mean, Dallas, you got Cooper, Gallup, and Lamb. I think all could be ones if they had to. So I would probably put Dallas actually as my top group. As a duo, I think it's still Hill and Kelsey.
Yeah, at this time next year, maybe we'll be talking about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in that conversation. Who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised. Pretty good.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And Ridley, the funny thing about Ridley and Pitts is, like the Calvin Ridley conversation, I think is just as interesting as the Kyle Pitts conversation, because Calvin Ridley was amazing. I mean, he was incredible, and he was incredible in a season where Julio Jones did miss a bunch of time.
Yeah.
So you don't have that, he had Julio on the other side at all times. Not at all. And I feel
like honestly, Matt Ryan left a lot of yards. Like there was a lot more yards for Ridley to have if he had, like Matt Ryan left him short on some big plays last year. So it's a lot of meat left on that bone.